I've been friends with this girl a year. We started flirting and chatting a lot more a few months ago, so I decided to fly over here to visit her and see if we're compatible in real life. We are 1k miles apart, which is a few hours in a plane. I thought we both genuinely really like each other, which is why I came. I wouldn't fly this distance for just anyone, and she told me she wanted me to come. I arrived 3 days ago, and at the actual airport, she tells me another guy has also come to see her, even though she didn't want him to. He's also from another country and flew roughly the same distance to get here. I was confused, cause I don't understand why he flew here if she told him she didn't want him to, like no guy is that stupid as to get on a plane for some random girl. She said it's because he just wanted to travel and picked her country. So I've been staying at her house and this other guy got a hotel, so the first day we drove him to his hotel and it was just so awkward. You could tell neither of us wanted to be there anymore, and you can definitely tell we had no idea the other existed. That night we went out for drinks and he came along, despite telling me she didn't want him there. I'm only here for a week and for the past 2 days the three of us have spent the days together and it's so freaking awkward. I really like this girl and I want alone time with her. So today I told her I don't want to see him again, that this trip was meant to be for just us, and I'm feeling very awkward having another guy around who obviously wants to get in her pants. It's frustrating. She told me we're not exclusive, they're just friends like us, and she doesn't want to leave him alone all day. She specifically said her and I are just friends, so I can't get angry. She left me alone in her own house and went to his hotel for a few hours and came back literally half an hour ago. I don't know what they did, they could have made love for all I know, saying now we could go out for dinner and drinks, just us. She had no problem telling me she stayed at his hotel and hang out with him there playing on her Switch. So clearly she 100% believes we're not exclusive and told me to chill the hell out, or she couldn't be with me because I'm too overbearing already. I'm not trying to be, but this is a crappy situation and in my eyes, we were being flirty AF and I didn't know there was another guy coming. Like, why couldn't she just pick another week for him to come? Am I seriously the idiot in this situation? For being a bit too full on and overbearing? I don't think I am, but because of what she told me I just want an outsider's opinion, and this sub has helped me before. Not the idiot. No, totally with you on why couldn't she just pick another week, and you should totally tell her just that. You don't have to be exclusive, no, but she doesn't have to waste the 1 week she has with either of you by sharing you. What the hell is going on in her head? I hope you at least enjoy being a tourist, and honestly I would spend as little time making this trip about her as humanly possible. Seek revenge and go meet a girl at a bar, show her how it feels. Sorry, dude. Not the idiot. This is all very weird. If someone was flying 1k miles to see me, or I was them, I would expect that it would not be at the same time as someone else visiting, regardless of what you or they are to each other, friends, family, etc. If someone's putting that much effort in, you at least make as much time as possible for them by not having other visitors. She seems like an idiot for allowing the both of you there. If she genuinely didn't want him to come and had solidly told him that, then 1. Why would he come? 2. Why would she even meet him when he did come? Everyone's the idiot here. She screws the most, I think, for concocting this weird situation of having two guys who are into her visiting her internationally at the same time. There is no way she didn't want him to come or misunderstood anything. Like you said, only an idiot would get on a plane for a random girl. That being said, you are also the idiot who got on a 1k mile plane for a random girl, and I almost can't believe the irony of you saying that about him slipped you. I hope you're learning a valuable lesson about communication and boundaries. If your expectation was one thing, romantic trip to start a relationship, that should have been very well communicated before you left. Update. I got home a few days ago and wanted to give everyone an update. The rest of the week was pretty much the three of us again, except for one other night where we were alone. So essentially in a week we only had 2 nights out together. I slept in her house, so we spent nights alone anyway, but I mean going out alone without third wheel. I decided to do what a lot of you were suggesting, and I confronted the other guy about what the hell was going on. I guess something didn't feel right, and my gut was telling me I should probably talk to him, because I felt she was lying. So I went out on a walk to the shops and ended up at the guy's hotel and room. Straight up asked him what's going on. It was incredibly awkward, but we ended up having a good conversation about her, and he basically was told the same as I was. Except she lied and said I purposely told her I couldn't afford a room and she had to offer me her place. This isn't true, she offered me her place from the get-go and I never insinuated I wouldn't get a hotel room. She told him she liked him, was incredibly flirtatious with him too, and they actually took it much farther than we did. They had a lot of phone love, he had her photos, he didn't show me out of respect for her, and they cammed a lot. A lot more than she did with me. I felt heartbroken, still do, but I'm feeling better. On this trip alone they actually made love. When she was at his room, he confirmed it with a text she sent him when she left to go out with me. He does really like her, I'm not sure if she likes him back, but she did sleep with him, so maybe. She never did strike me as that type of person, yet here we are. I told him he could have her. So yeah. In essence, she lied a lot. She told me she really liked me, told him she doesn't like me at all. Was incredibly flirty with both of us and leading us both on. She told him she didn't want me at her house yet totally invited me to stay there. She told me she didn't like him, he's just a friend visiting, but then turns out she's had a love relationship with him for months and they even slept together while I was also there. It's crap. Crap update and it's 100% what you lot expected and were telling me was gonna happen. Turns out I am really freaking stupid, however I'm working on it and you can bet I won't make the same mistake again. Dude, you're not stupid. Really. You wanted to assume the best about people, and that's a reflection of who you are as a person, that this is something you'd never imagine doing to someone else. It bit you in the crap this time, but in the long run, this trait will serve you well. I'm sorry for how things happened, but honestly, I'm proud of you for sticking up for yourself and having the talk with him. I hope that he can see the light and get out when he can. I, 19, have an autistic brother, 20. He's fairly manipulative because he realized pretty quickly that the threat of a meltdown would get him his way every single time. He is considered high functioning by medical personnel, but he's got my parents convinced he just doesn't understand what he's doing and they don't ever punish him. Doctors have told them that he understands and that he knows what he's doing. They think they know better. They also expect me to revolve my entire life around him. I was never able to do anything I wanted because it upset his routine. I wanted to play a sport, nope, his routine. I wanted to get a job. Nope, his routine. Friends. Yeah, forget about that. I tried not to be resentful, but I am. The problem? My parents are flipping out because I plan to move several states away and in with my grandparents soon to attend school. They keep trying to guilt me into staying because of my brother. I usually just say that I'm sorry that they feel that way, but I'm still going. Well, here's where I might be the idiot. My mother was going on and on about how the world doesn't revolve around me and how I was being really selfish and how I was going to ruin my brother by doing this. How they'd always been the best parents they could be to both of us and we both got equal attention. I got frustrated and told her that she was delusional if she thought she or my father were ever good parents to me. They made my life revolve around my brothers, I had nothing of my own, he had to be the center of everything. I said he wasn't the center of the universe even though she tried to make him it. I told her that the only people who were selfish were her and my father because they actively ignored me in favor of babying my brother who played them like a fiddle to make sure he always got his way. I told her that his routine was not my problem, that it was up to them to make the appropriate adjustments, and asked if she really thought I'd just not live my life because of him. She started crying and I walked off and shut myself in my room. My father is demanding an apology for what I said, but I'm refusing. My grandpa said he's proud that I stood up for myself, but my parents are still demanding an apology for being an idiot. I don't think I need to give them one. Am I the idiot here? Not the idiot. I think that you needed to tell them your truth and that they need to hear it at least once. I also think that they have been deluding themselves about the situation for almost 2 decades, and I don't think that you can change that. I expect that they will be more obnoxious to live with since you told them how you feel, but please do not back down. Let them know that they sacrificed your life for the sake of your brother's routine and that you don't appreciate it. Not the idiot. My brother has autism, so I understand this pretty well. He's not high functioning like your brother, but I went through the same thing as you did, always having to live your life around him and his routine. You have every right to feel the way you do. OP hell, I still do. Not my brother's fault. Get out and live your life. Your parents need to wake up and realize what your brother is doing, because one day they're not gonna able to care for him anymore, then it'll be too late. I'm with the others that I saw, not the idiot. No way. No, how? I'm shocked at the number of times I see parents trying to make a child the responsibility of one of the others. My oldest is our last resort if we both die to have her take care of the youngers that are too young to live on their own. I'd hate to see her change her life plans for kids that aren't hers, so to have your parents try to do that to you is appalling to me. Good luck with school. I'm a single mom of 2 girls. Let's call them Madison, 15, and Camille, 12. Madison loves to read. She reads for at least 2 hours a day, and she has a shelf full of books in her room. She works as a babysitter to pay for all the books, but I do occasionally buy her some as gifts or as rewards for good grades. Camila hates reading. She doesn't own a single book and whines for hours when someone tries to get her to read a book. Madison and I have tried to introduce her to different genres to see if she liked any kind of book, and nothing stuck with her. She's a bright girl but just doesn't like to read. At the beginning of the school year, Camila's English teacher announced that each student has to read 5 books each semester and turn in a reading log every Monday with a summary of what they'd read the previous week. Camila whined and begged me to change her class because the other teachers weren't doing that, but I told her I wouldn't change her schedule because of that and offered to take her to the library so she could pick out some books. Madison offered to let Camila pick out some books from her shelf and brought Camila to her room. Camila picked out her 5 books and brought them to her room. In my house, we have a rule. If you borrow something and break it or lose it, you're responsible for paying for it, and for every week you wait to pay you have to pay an extra $1. Both of my girls receive an allowance every week so they'd be able to cover it. 3 weeks ago Camila walked into Madison's room and said she can't find Madison's Everything book, one of Madison's favorite books. Madison told Camila she either has to buy her a new book or give her money so she can replace it. Camila got mad at Madison and said she doesn't remember Madison giving her the book and that she's lying. I was standing right next to Madison when Camila took the book and I told Camila that she has to pay Madison for the book. Last week Madison came to me and said Camila never gave her the money and I went to talk to Camila. I told her she has 3 days to give Madison the money, bring her a new book, or find the old book, and if she doesn't, I'd be taking the money to replace it out of her bank account plus $2 interest. $1 for every week she waited. Camila started yelling that Madison never gave her the book and I told her I saw her take it. Well, the 3 days passed and she didn't give Madison the book or the money, so I withdrew $13 from Camila's bank account and gave it to Madison. Camila was pissed and called my mom to tell her what happened. Now they're both mad at me. I don't think I did anything wrong here. But am I the idiot? Not the idiot. It sounds like Camila knows the rules. You explained what she needed to do and the consequences and you gave her time to decide to do the right thing and she decided not to, so you followed through. I would be interested to know why a child who hates reading decided to keep this particular book, or maybe she gave it away or something. Also, why does she hate reading so much? Does she struggle? There could be more to this story. Not the idiot. My parents had similar rules for me and my 3 older siblings. I'm not a parent now. I hated this rule growing up, but I know so many people that do not know how to pay people back. It's to the point where I don't lend money to anyone except my siblings, but they're so good with money they never ask. There's no lesson to be learned if you just replace the book and move on, and I can't believe someone would suggest that. That is literally the laziest form of parenting. Not the idiot, there are consequences to actions. Your younger daughter was well aware of the house rule as it seems to have been established for a while. She borrowed the book and hasn't returned it or lost it, therefore she should have to replace it. The same would occur if she borrowed from a library and was handed late fees for not returning the book. Your mother needs to back off. She might be the grandmother, but it is your responsibility to parent and teach your children, not hers. Your house, your rules, and she needs to respect that. So for those that don't know, I have 2 children 20 and 19, and ever since the world went to hell, I got them therapy sessions at their requests because they said that this was taking a huge toll on them. On Wednesday when my daughter went to attend the Zoom session my wife had left to go take a nap. I didn't think much of it, but she came back exactly 3 hours later after both of them finished looking sad. The day the same thing happened and when I went to wake her up for dinner today I found her watching a recording of my daughter's session. I lost it. That conversation was supposed I would be private. We had promised our kids that we will respect their privacy and do our best to help them when they need it. I made her confess to our kids and told her. They were heartbroken and they hate her. She claims that it's my fault, but she dug her own grave. Both of them feel betrayed and don't want anything to do with their mother. So am I the idiot for forcing a confession? Not the idiot, but you probably shouldn't have done that. Damage was done by wife knowing more than she should, and you know not to trust her. But now the kids won't feel safe in the home they are trapped in. They also probably won't trust any form of therapy for quite a while now, and it sounds like they really wanted or needed that. I don't think wife should get away with it, and I don't think there is a perfect solution here. But it seems like you really escalated the damage being done to the kids. Maybe it's just a matter of bad timing. The damage could have been softened if wife stopped, and weeks later it came out that she spied on the first couple sessions, but stopped. Not the idiot. This is awkward as hell for you. Normally I would say you should have your wife's back no matter what, but this is such a gross breach. I think you did the right thing. I do wonder if this is the first time she's violated their trust like this. My mother did similar stuff to me when I was a teenager, and she was a therapist herself. As an adult, when I sought therapy on my own, it drove her crazy. She would constantly try to undermine the sessions by asking me questions, mocking me, or trying to tell me what and how to discuss things with my therapist. Anyway, I don't blame your kids if they never want to speak to her again. Thankfully they have a good father to stand up for them. I feel like your kids requested therapy exactly because your wife is so intrusive. It sounds like your kids spend a lot of the time in therapy talking about their mother, and I'm guessing how overbearing and intrusive she is, which would explain why your wife looked sad after their therapy session. Guess what? She just proved them right by spying on their therapy session. She dug her own grave. Have the lot of you considered family, group counseling? Your wife should definitely be in counseling, therapy herself as well. And of course not the idiot your wife is though.